Hi boys and girls, it's Shane. I'm in the house that went viral. We're working on the hardwood floors here. This one was covered with feces, and if you didn't see that video, you should look at my pinned ones. But I'm going to show you the surprise we just found pulling some paneling off in the kitchen that was kind of gross. And then in this video, I'm also going to show you how I fix holes in the wood floors that we need to fill. We have some relatively large holes that are problematic, and I have a method that I use that I haven't seen other people really do it this way, but I think it works good. One of the scariest things to do when you're working on an old house is removing a wall panel like this. We do not know what is going to be behind this. It could be a beautiful plaster wall that's still perfectly intact, maybe 2% of the time. 98% of the time, it's going to be some untold horror. The last time I removed panels like this, if you saw the video with the roaches, we ended up with 3 inches of roaches fall out onto the floor, literally like snow. What do we got?
Lots of roaches.
Not the worst thing I've seen behind one of these. That's probably a chimney right there. So there's probably brick behind all this plaster. But the plaster looks reasonably intact. That could definitely have been a lot worse. Let's see what's behind this one next. Never mind. Like snow. Look at all the little roaches of ages past. Eee. Any of them still alive? Here we go. What are we gonna find? This is the one I'm most worried about. Uh-oh. That's not good. That's yummy. Ew. Okay, more problems to fix. So was there a moisture problem before they put these panels on?
Whoa.
Or, because it doesn't look like the panels have anything on their side of them here. Well, that one kind of does. So I guess the moisture problem came later. Yep, just breathe in all that fresh air, Shay. Sometimes things can seem complicated and difficult to fix. There used to be an outlet in the floor here long ago. They've been replaced. Ignore all the roach feces. This place I know is disgusting, but we're working on the floors first. So there would have been a floor outlet like this originally on the house, and that leaves a hole. There are several of these through the house that we need to fix. So I've got a pile of wood here. I want to pick one of these to use to make our patches. So to prepare this to make patches, I'm going to use my circular saw, and I'm going to set it at an angle. The angle isn't exactly important. I'm going to go about 30 degrees. That should be sufficient. Then I'm going to use this jig, which will hold the width to the blade for us to make this cut. I'm cutting with the wood upside down, so the pretty side is down. So what I end up with is a trapezoid. There's a groove on this side, that's okay, that's not gonna matter. And then we're gonna be able to cut a wedge so that this fits in. So now we have the patch we're gonna use to fill the hole. I'm just gonna flip it over upside down and trace the lines around it. I'm pretty happy with that placement. So now I'm gonna trace, these will be the lines that we're actually gonna cut from. So now the tricky part is cutting the angles to match the angle that we've already cut. The way I'll do that is I'm gonna set this in place and then press my blade up against the piece and make the cut. I'm going to try to explain a difficult part of this to understand, which is I have to align this to this side in order to match the angle and get it to cut into the correct place. Then I need to bring it this way to my line and align it to this side. So I'm moving this, I'm not keeping it in the same place. Most of the time when you're cutting around something, you're keeping it in the same place, but I'll have to move it to this side. And there are people that do this all different kinds of ways. And there are going to be people that do this different than the way I do it. None of them are necessarily right or wrong. It's good to look at different ways to do things. So I've got a little bit to take off here. I always go a little bit proud so it sticks up just a little bit. Then I can just come in with my oscillating saw and trim just a little bit. Okay, I think that's just about close enough. We're about a 1/16 of an inch proud. When I hammer that down with some glue on it and put in a couple nails, I think that'll be about perfect. So now I'm going to put some glue all over these edges, and I want to put like glops. Normally I try to keep it real clean when I'm gluing. In this case we want a bunch. And I'm going to set her down right here. Press it into place. I'm going to secure it with some nails. And I'll use a nail set to sink those heads down. That way it's beneath the sanding level, but that's going to hold it while the glue dries. Use my Blue Diamond sandpaper at a 60 grit with my sander. Almost flush. Now we're just going to dab a little bit of glue into these spots, like this. And then I'm just going to dust the sawdust back onto that glue. Kind of work it into a paste almost. Just like that. Go around this side too. Starting to disappear. There we go. A little bit more. So the grain goes a different direction, but that's going to be really hard to notice, and it shouldn't make much difference in the overall floor. Got one to do there and one to do there.